The studios over at Capcom have been completely kicking butts. Like, truly consider the fact that they're doing things like the Resident Evil games, there's Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry 5 was a masterpiece. Well, it seems like that is not enough. Capcom is actually inventing completely new franchises as well, which is what we have here with Exoprimal. This is a dinosaur-style game that feels like Left 4 Dead, but even better. And I want to talk about it. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you enjoyed this video. If you do have fun, please like the video because it does help out, and also, I don't know, subscribe if you want. So, Exoprimal is a squad-based shooter in a way. This exists in a world where instead of getting your just completely normal, stereotypical weather patterns like rain and sleet and snow, you also occasionally just have thousands of velociraptors falling out of the sky. So in this demo thing I got a chance to play, it was online. I did get a chance to party up and play a bunch of hours of online matches. This is a squad-based shooter, but in an interesting way. So in this game, you choose an exosuit. These are your different classes. There's the damage dealers that are doing things like there's this ninja guy who has a sword in case you want to actually sword fight a T-Rex, or the long-range guy who's got a bunch of machine guns and rocket launchers. Now there's the healer class that's able to tase dinosaurs and actually stun them while also healing your party members, and there's the tank who is not able to shoot at all, but he can punch a bunch of these dinos and he can put up a huge energy shield that explodes to push them back. Now, this game is really based on the idea of fit your function, trying to adapt to impossibly overwhelming odds. Now, the maps we're playing on and the objectives we need to complete are slightly randomized. So when you're playing this, you have an objective in front of you like, okay, there's 10,000 raptors, you have to mow them down, or something like a huge triceratops has appeared and you need to defeat it as quickly as possible. So the reason this is a competitive squad-based shooter is that there are 2 teams of 5, but you exist in parallel timelines. So the way this sort of means is that you're both playing through the exact same map and the exact same spot, and you'll even sometimes see these little red silhouettes of how the other team is doing. But this is in fact a race. You're trying to beat all of your objectives before the enemy team can do theirs, which means not only are you trying to help your teammates out, make sure they're not dying horribly when the freaking giant monsters start spitting acid and stuff like that, but also you want to make sure you're finishing your objectives quicker because the losing team who doesn't finish their stuff is essentially sent to hell. When I talk about these maps being slightly randomized, what I mean is the fact that they're still the same spots, you're still going through the same parts of cities and stuff, but what makes it feel like it's evolving is that during the course of this, the monsters you fight and the specific objectives can change. So sometimes you'll have to be fighting off like a huge batch of pterodactyls, or sometimes it'll just spawn one huge giant enemy that you have to take down. So typically you get 5 missions per map, but it always ends with this big Overwatch style thing where you have to push a cart. The reason this game is so addictively fun thus far is not just the fact that fighting dinosaurs is incredibly cool, it's 2 separate things at once. There are neo-dinosaurs, which are like weird, mutated, interdimensional beasties, like a velociraptor that can shoot acid super far. There's like these suicide explosive guys that'll run up and detonate and wipe your team out. And there's even this is a hidden secret super boss we stumbled upon with one of my games. It is a Neo T-Rex. He is huge. He creates tiny black holes. He can shoot out these like shock waves of sound. And when this super boss showed up, it actually put all of us and the enemy team together on the same map to work together because it needed all 10 of us in order to survive. These moments are incredibly fun, but this brings me to the other side of it that makes it work so incredibly great. You can switch exosuits whenever you want. Simply by opening up your menu, you can choose to swap suits. For me, just pressing the T button makes you switch, so you can go more to the damage dealer class. If there's a huge swarm of raptors that's eating your teammates, you can swap over to being the tank or the healer that can stun while trying to revive your teammates. This creates an incredibly good meta where instead of just trying to react to a situation, it feels like you can always properly adapt. You can always be proactive in your offensive capabilities. Like, I found it incredibly fun to switch to this ninja-looking melee DPS dealer, jump in the middle of swarms of enemies, and start chopping them up. Now, if you do your job good enough, like if you're tanking a bunch of damage or healing people a lot, or in the case of the damage dealers, obviously killing a bunch of dinos, you get your super ability, which is a little bit different for each of them. It's usually some ultimate crazy attack that wipes out a huge chunk of the dinos. So far in this little like demo version of the game, there was only these 4 separate mechs I could try, which are the 2 damage dealers, the 1 healer, and the 1 tank. I'm kind of curious because on the screen, it looked like there were these 10 separate spots for possibly 10 different mechs or exos that are going to exist in the full game. But as it stands, even this little teeny tiny vertical slice, Exoprimal is shockingly fun. I will say that my tiny gripes about the game as it currently exists are the fact that I do wish that the storyline was a bit better. This whole idea of like interdimensional, multi-parallel dimensions, and you and the other people are possibly getting sent to hell or being reincarnated, and like it almost seems like you're time police but in the same timeline. As it currently stands, the whole storyline doesn't really fully make sense, but obviously they're probably not even done writing it since this game comes out next year. And my other tiny gripe is that I do hope that there is some sort of leveling system, just because that good carrot on a stick does motivate gamers. There was no experience points or anything in this version of the game. There was no unlockables and stuff like that. I hope there's more than just cosmetics. I would like that if I'm good at tanking, I would love to level up and unlock extra abilities to make my tanking skills feel better. It would be cool to have like a specialization. It would be so cool to have like a specialization about the class you enjoy the most. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts after playing around 4 hours of Exoprimal. What do you think about the game? Does it look good to you? Does it look bad? Please tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and please keep dreaming. Oh man, I'm dealing with some weird nausea today. Oh man. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.